Mother gives birth to twin girls. 30 minutes later, doctor walks in and tells parents, "I'm sorry." Although we have advanced a lot in medicine and now we can know many things about our child before they're born, nature always knows how to find new ways to surprise us. British couple Nicola and Todd Bailey were the proud parents of a 4-year-old boy named Lucas. The family lived in a quiet neighborhood in Sheffield in a cozy 2-story house with a wonderful garden where they planned to see all their children grow up. Although the couple already had a son and felt very happy with the small family that the three of them had formed, it was always clear to them that at some point they would like to expand the family and have more kids, a dream that would soon come true, although not in the way they'd thought. Nicola was a nurse and worked part-time at the community health center, while Todd was a respected and experienced real estate agent. Both had good jobs that allowed them to live a comfortable, carefree life, so the idea of expanding their family without limit was not a problem for them. They wanted more children, and the more the better. "Honey, Lucas is a wonderful boy, but I don't want him to grow up alone. I was an only child and I know how lonely that is. I don't want our son to grow up alone. As happy as we can make him and as much as we can offer him, nothing compares to the experience of having a sibling. Being someone's big brother changes you inside, I know. I want our little boy to be able to experience something like that," Nicola commented to her husband one summer evening as they chatted quietly on the porch of their home. "Of course, I want our son to have siblings and to know the happiness that brings. There's nothing I want more than to see Lucas taking care of his little brothers. I have 3 sisters and I thank God every day for them. Being the little brother of 3 women is amazing, and without the help of my sisters, I wouldn't be the man you know today. Let's have more children, Nicola. It's time. Let's expand our family. I adore you and nothing would make me happier than to create a big family with you," Todd admitted enthusiastically, looking in his wife's eyes. They spent the rest of the night dreaming about what the rest of their children would look like and fantasizing about watching them run around their garden. The Baileys didn't have to wait long for their dreams to come true. For just 5 months after that conversation, they received the happiest news: Nicola was pregnant again. Christmas had just ended. They were packing up all the decorations in the house when suddenly Nicola felt very dizzy and collapsed to the floor. When they arrived at the hospital and underwent tests, they found out. The couple couldn't have been happier and were quick to break the big news to the future big brother. "My love, Mom and Dad are gonna have a baby and you're gonna have a little brother. What do you think?" they calmly explained to the little boy when they returned from the hospital. Lucas had already turned 5 by then, and when he heard the news, he was excited. "A baby? Then I'll be big brother? I'll get to play ball with him?" Lucas kept asking all kinds of questions that his parents were trying to answer. The little boy was really excited and spent the days asking his mother how he was doing and if he could feel anything in her tummy yet. The family was beaming with happiness at the arrival of a new member, until one day Nicholas started to feel something was wrong. "Todd, I don't feel well. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's clear to me that something is not going the way it should. Take me to the hospital, please. I'm scared," Nicola told her husband one afternoon after work. The woman had been feeling very tired all day. Her body was heavy and she could hardly work without constant nausea or dizziness. The couple rushed to the clinic where all the necessary tests were performed to find out the cause of the discomfort. "I had a strange sensation as I increased in size much faster than in my previous pregnancy, and I feel exhausted, doctor. I'm a nurse and I know that a pregnant woman feels tired, but not the way I'm feeling," Nicola told her doctor when they arrived at the hospital for emergency care. The couple were very worried and feared the worst as they waited in the hospital room, but it soon became clear that there was a very good reason for their discomfort. Nicola was not pregnant with just one child. They were expecting twins. "Twins? That's incredible news," Todd said as he listened to the doctor and couldn't help but give him a big hug. "You don't know how happy I am, Doc. I'm gonna be a father again, and a double. It's a gift from God." For the next few weeks, Nicola had to be on bed rest as the doctors determined she was suffering from an at-risk pregnancy. Neither she nor the babies were at risk, and all the tests performed during the pregnancy were satisfactory. Her pregnancy was slow and very tedious as she could barely move, but she was very happy to be able to bring 2 new souls into the world. In the 4th month of the pregnancy, the couple learned they were twin girls. Nicola was always clear about the names she would give her children, so the selection of the twins' names was a snap: Harper and Quinn. "Mom, my sisters will be the same. Will they have the same face and same hair?" Lucas asked curiously, trying to understand what it meant that he was going to have twin sisters. "They won't be exactly the same, but they'll look a lot alike, and they'll look like you too, I'm sure. Are you looking forward to meeting them, honey?" "Yeah, I can't wait to see their faces and see if they look as much alike as you say they do. And I'm also looking forward to play ball with them," the boy confessed. "You'll have to wait a little while before you can share your toys with them, my love. But you will all in due time, Lucas," his mother consoled him, trying to sort out all the ideas and feelings that her little son felt before the imminent arrival of his 2 little sisters. Fortunately, Lucas didn't have to wait much longer to meet his sisters because Nicola's water broke at 32 weeks. Everything indicated that she was going into premature labor, but fortunately the doctors managed to stop the contractions. In this way, the 2 babies Harper and Quinn were able to stay in their mother's womb for another week before being born without any risk. "I've not seen anything more perfect. They're precious, my love. They're as beautiful as their mother," Todd told his wife in tears shortly after seeing the birth of their 2 daughters. As the girls were born prematurely, they were quickly attended to by a doctor. But just 30 minutes after Harper was born, the doctor returned to Nicola's room and told him something that would spoil the happiness they felt. "I'm very sorry, but we suspect one of the girls was born with a serious health problem." They suspected Harper had Down syndrome, something later tests confirmed. Nicola and Todd Bailey didn't learn that their baby girl had this genetic disorder until after she was born. However, they later learned that there were already methods to detect the disorder during gestation and prevent the pregnancy from proceeding. During the pregnancy, nothing had seemed out of the ordinary, and the parents had no idea that one of their babies had an extra chromosome until after she was born, 38 minutes after her sister Quinn. It's possible to have a child with this disease and have a completely normal pregnancy. In fact, in 90% of cases, parents who don't carry out any prior genetic testing don't discover that their child has the disease until the day of birth. "We're sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Bailey," explained the doctor who delivered Nicola. He was an older man, about 55 years old, and he seemed really upset that he hadn't been able to detect Harper's problem either. However, Nicola didn't feel any sadness when she found out the truth about her newborn daughter. On the contrary, she was a nurse and knew all about Down syndrome. In fact, she had cared for several families with children with Down syndrome, so she didn't feel that her daughter had any problems. "Don't be sorry, doctor. I understand your concern, and I'm very grateful for everything you've done for me and my daughters. Without you, they wouldn't come into this world, but please don't say again my little girl has a problem, because I know perfectly well she doesn't. She's different, she'll have different needs than the rest of the children and those of her 2 siblings, but in no way will that prevent her from being happy." Nicola was still weak from childbirth, but in her eyes there was not a hint of doubt or weakness. She made her way to the doctor in a confident manner, and you could see in her eyes how determined she was to take care of her family at all costs. Upon returning home, Nicola and her husband made the decision to raise their 2 daughters equally. They didn't want Harper to feel displaced and would raise her in the same way as their other 2 children as long as possible. After that, they would seek help from specialized Down syndrome centers to help her to continue to develop at her own pace. Harper and Quinn are our princesses no matter how many chromosomes. They're our daughters and we'll love them equally. I know how important it is for you to set an example with Harper's education, but you won't be alone, my love. I'll always be by your side whatever you decide," Todd told his wife as they put their daughters to bed in their respective cribs. Nicola, who's a nurse, has as her main purpose to make people more aware of Down syndrome, which causes, among other things, several intellectual delays as well as some physical limitations. To this end, 6 months after giving birth, she created an Instagram account where everyone could meet her family and see how the twins were growing up. Although the main functions of her publications was to demonstrate the reality of having a child with Down syndrome and to break down the prejudices of a rather ignorant society. "Our family's unique, and I wouldn't trade it for the world," Nicola stated in one of her posts. They still break the news saying, "I'm sorry. I'm really not sorry. Harper's perfect, I wouldn't change her. Her little smile lights up the room and she is who she's supposed to be. The bond they share as twins is like nothing else, and I can't wait to continue them, watch them grow. Our family is unique and I wouldn't change it for the world," Nicola explained alongside her husband in a story on her Instagram account. Down syndrome is the most common chromosomal disorder. Approximately 1 in 700 babies in the United States is born with Down syndrome, or about 6,000 births a year according to the NDSS. According to experts, the chance of having a twin with a condition is 1 in a million, and although unfortunately for many people having such a child is an inconvenience, for others like Nicola and her family it is a new opportunity to demonstrate that love does not understand genetics. Harper and her family are a clear example that progress is coming, and that the acceptance of these types of people in society is getting closer and closer. Did you like this touching and surprising story? If so, we invite you to leave us a comment expressing your opinion. If you want to continue enjoying inspiring stories like this one, subscribe to our channel or check out the other videos shown at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for your cooperation.